Okay, the lights on, numbers are crunching away. Get the view meter pushing a signal. All right, we're live, whether I want to be or not. Okay, thank you all for being here. I am Verdi Arbusto. This is the Schumann Resonance Harmonics channel on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for being here. Um, I appreciate if you're new here, welcome. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you've been around for a while and you have already subscribed, do please check to make sure you are still subscribed and hit the little bell to make sure you have all of the notifications set so that when I post a video or whatever, you'll be notified. All right, wonderful. Okay, so where are we at? I just got done making a relatively short, a 20-minute video about observations. The Schumann has stopped, the stream has stopped. So I did a talk about that. A good part, just remember, I have to remember, a good portion of doing these videos is to start to foment a conversation with people. So I have to remember that there's a good lively conversation in either the comments and the chats. And so that's why it's important to post short videos so people can watch the whole thing and not get overwhelmed. Okay. 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes is about where people can draw the line. And especially mine is a lot of times it's a 10 minutes of introduction. So this one is I'm going to do the spoken word. I think I'm going to post this as a premiere, likely. Still kind of early in the night. I don't think I'm too tired yet. And it would be nice to chat with people. All right. So I guess that sort of, the chats and the comments is relevant to kind of what's going on here in my life. Again, I've always loved doing the live stream because of the chat. And the premiere is also a wonderful way to, chat with people as well. The live stream, having done, a good number of them, uh, a good many hours worth of live streams. They're fun because I can interact with people in the lesson, take the chats and interact with the the people, and kind of go into detail about things that people have questions about. Like in theory, that's the most fun part for me is while I'm there on the spot teaching or trying to explain something, to have questions on the material. And it just happens that, I have a little better visual representations of things to to use, which also, going into detail like that also lends its way into the discussion of this video here, of spending more time with people, explaining things in more detail because I have the time and the ability because I'm viewer supported. And this is essentially the direction that my guides told me that I need to start moving in, is figuring out a way to interact with people more, answer specific questions, deal with specific issues that people have related to not just Schumann resonances, but more so with atmospheric electromagnetics. All right. Um, so there's a shift in my life, you know, as a lot of people have been. And so uh, I just want to say, kind of before I read this and I go into, a little bit of this, that my guides had told me, I had this discussion with Alex in November, last November, that a T in the road was coming up for me. He didn't believe it. It's fine. You don't need to. He didn't need to. I'm not trying to convince him. But I said, I need to have, by the beginning of the year, I need to have my lifeboat, I phrased it, my lifeboat, in order because things are going to start getting messy and sloppy, and I need to have something other than, a nest egg, a life, something that's going to support me better than the job with the company that I've been working with, doing the landscaping, the daytime job. So before the new year was out, I had this here laptop, and I was working on. I had done some videos. Wasn't quite happy with them, but actually no, the laptop came a little bit later. No, but I had my phone. I had done videos with my phone. Sorry, no, the laptop came in like April. All right, so that was with the stimulus money. All right, so anyway, but that's part of the story. That's part of the narrative. The getting this here laptop, the HP laptop that I did the majority of work on, was one of the things that solidified by my guides. You're doing this. You're making these videos, right? There was no questioning. I had the money in my account. It was there as a great price, great unit. Yeah, there. No, you're here at the right time. Boom, it's done. As with the other things in the studio. So when I talk about the lifeboat, what that meant is the studio, doing the Schumann resonances as the first most important dedicated topic was the Schumann resonances, and then secondly associated whatever. There's a lot of stuff that is, and that's part of it. Like the third mission, the third part, the third tier of it was to explain to people what they're not as well, right? So the first is to talk about the Schumann resonances and their effect and blah blah blah, and then we have related, we'll just say related um, influences on the Schumann resonances, which includes a lot of what I say in the local area of blasting, or if they're doing heavy industry, or know your local influences. So the second tier of this is really it's a much bigger thing of local influences on the Schumann resonances as well. Well, I mean, this is a big topic, and I've always had that kind of discussion with you of know your local influences first, between of yourself, of where you are, of what's affecting you first, and then what may as well locally be affecting either Kumiania or Tomsk or wherever you're, whoever, whatever is reporting a meter sensor reading. Okay, take a coffee break, take a breath. Know your local influences. That was supposed to have been a pause. Know your local influences and what's happening around you, as well as in the area of the Schumann resonance or the VLF meter. Okay, so essentially, hopefully to pick up where I was, the thread was, my guides told me you got to kind of split out. Okay, you're going to have to start uh, having a new focus on your life's mission focus. In the last, I hate to say this, in the last 6 months here, I need to figure out this direction. The new year is a demarcation point, and as was with this year, okay, so just like last January 1st was a demarcation point of certain things having to be in order, and they were on my part. The universe helped me. It's the same thing at this point. Like exactly a year later, boom, same thing is happening now. Basically, beginning January 1st of this year, I need to have my kind of ducks in a row. I need to have certain things in order. We have a certain direction we're moving in. Everything's moving in. I have a certain part I need to be mobile. And so the direction I'm moving in this time requires your help. The first time the universe helped me out, but this time it's a little different. It's a little bit more of a bigger vision, I think. But it's the direction that I need to move in order to get out of this place here with this woman and this company, which has been fine. Um, and I'll go into a little tiny bit of kind of secret understanding that I have coming into this, that the universe explained to me. I believe that, and I haven't explained this in here in the written stuff. I haven't explained this anywhere. Um, but those of you who know me and like me, the 10 of you, the 10, wages being 11, um, and Ricky Spence is honorary 13th out of the 10. Just FYI. So anyway, so you know, the I go where I'm told. My timing is impeccable. Because I listen, I keep my antennas open, and I tell the universe, I just live, direct me to where I need to be of the most good to wherever I need to be, whether it's on someone online, just happen to catch someone online, or someone over at the coffee shop or wherever, doesn't matter, whatever, just when let me know, give me the strong, clear voice to let me know, make your voice the loudest. I tell my guides, make your voice, please, make your voice the loudest over and above all of the craziness and insanity around me, and please help lower the craziness, so I can steer your guidance, because otherwise I'm deaf, dumb, and blind. And this is how I generally I say, just keep this as a forever request, because I don't want to have to keep asking this. I've opened this up. Just always just make your voice the loudest, please. And I'll do my part and meditate and stay in a quiet time and a place where I can be receptive to your voice and your guidance, right? It's always open. The request is always open. Let me make time for you to make your guidance known to me. Right? That's my part of this. If I ask, then I need to as well also make a time and a place where I can receive the said guidance. It's important, right? You make time for it. So as I'm moving forward in the narrative, as I I am where I need to be. I live that way. And as I meditate on my current situation, I ask, tell me where I need to be, what do I need to do? And sometimes the situation is, wait, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep adding content to your video channel, let's just say, right? Um, or whatever it is, you follow the guidance, follow the science, follow the, people talking about, oh, wow, hey, okay. And then sometimes, like after a discussion with someone, it winds up, wow, they, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point is, you're receptive, and in all times, in all spaces, you keep grounded by asking to keep the clear channel open, and lowering your center of breathing, so it's coming deep from you. And that's the most important thing you can do to ground, is when you feel all frizzled, exhale, and then hold. This is part of one of the grounding rituals that I do to clear away my craziness, uh, and pull in the sound of source, the still small voice that otherwise gets drowned out. All right. So when I ask, that's how I stay connected. Otherwise, if I don't clear those channels, if I don't ground, if I don't stay, the top open, then it doesn't come in. So it's really important. of why it's important to stay grounded, of just breathing, just like exhaling the the the, the extraneous energies around us. Okay. So my guides have, moving on with the narrative, my guides, when I asked, please help me, my guides said that for the woman that I'm working on, this particular uh, industry, for this company, there's 11 properties involved in this. 12 now. The boss just recently acquired another one. So each property has like 6 units, 5, 6 units, uh, around there. 7, maybe one has. I think a few have 2 or 3, but the average have each unit has 5 or 6. So my main obligation, as I talked about, is landscaping. All right. So what is kind of not known about this is when I asked my guides, please explain to me what's my obligation. They said there's a lot of work for this woman that is on back order, that she hasn't had the right person to do the job. It's a lot of landscaping. She planted, all of the properties were planted up with trees and shrubs and perennials and a lot of stuff, and a lot of it's gotten overgrown because she hasn't had the proper caretaker for this stuff. So there's been not only that, but a lot of other stuff that has been on the back burner, a pathway and other stuff, just other stuff. A, a pathway patio that I've either myself done for her or helped to do. So the work on the back order of her uh, is coming to a close. A lot of, I've in essence worked myself out of a job in some cases. Um, there's still more current work to do. However, the primary obligation to this company is closing out, right? So, as with everything that, out with the old, in with the new. So, um, the this is what brings me to this point here. So, a lot of there's now some new ventures that she's entered in, and this is where I'm kind of drawing the line and pulling back from. I don't want to be involved in the new ventures because I have the Schumann Resonances here with you guys that needs to happen. All right, so this is the T. This is the T in the road. Even though I knew it was coming up in December, right? November, October, I knew it was coming up. Before the end of the year, I was ready to have my lifeboat ready. Now here is the T. After the company has recently expanded into 2 more properties, one of which is over 100, like it's over 100 acres, or 90 acres or something like that. Somewhere between 50 to 90 acres in the upstate of, New England, like Mass, somewhere on the border of Mass and New Hampshire or some shit, and or Vermont, and that's a survival place that she wants to make into a survival kind of thing, in a farm and whatever. There's a whole other thing that goes with it that I'm not going to get into. But she'd like to turn a profit on that, and there's a lot of work up there that I'm not suited for. Um, so here's the T in the road. Here's the crossroads. This is where I'm at. This is where it's kind of the rubber meets the road, the do or the die. This project needs to fly. This the website, the YouTube channel, the streaming through my own channel is a big difference than streaming through YouTube, because I can't stream through YouTube without getting a claim, a copyright claim, which means that if my channel was monetized, the money would go to them, but in some cases it's blocked in certain countries. You know, according to the specifics, according to the numbers, it, you know, like, all right, that no one watches me in Finland or Norway or whatever, all right. You know, however, there's people in that general area that like that actually do watch me, like, all right, okay. And people have in the UK have complained about some of the videos not showing because in one case is it just, you know, they blocked it. So uh that was rather unpleasant, you know. And some of the other things I posted are copyright protected. I've had some copyright. I have a copyright strike. I have a bunch of claims. You know, I don't feel shadow banned. I don't feel any of that. I'm not monetized. You know, it's the reason I do this. Being on YouTube is not monetized, so that I can have fun and play the videos. However, it's like, you know, it's the real, it's the, you know, this is the front line. You know, they play someone else's music you don't have rights to. Oh yeah, the front line is right there, and you're, you know, dinged. They ding the fuck out the side of your head. You know, not you up, Willie Lump Lump style. You know, that's the lovely phrase I love using. They lumped them up, Willie Lovely style. You know, um, dinged him up, Willie Lump Lump style. Um, did him up lovely, Willie Lump Lump style. Anyway, so on that cheery note, it's probably about time I should read this. So all right, so you know, here I'm at the crossroads. So like I just summarized the good, you know, cigarette stopping point. I'll summarize, and you can go out and have a cigarette. You know, the obligation that I have had up to this point with this woman who basically took me out of the tent in the woods. Okay, so my obligation with her, I feel, has run its course. I've done a lot of work for her. There's still work that can be done for her in the landscaping. She needs someone landscaping, but I'm too old for this. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm at. That just for me as a person, I can't keep dedicating my physical strength and to landscaping and keep using my body that way. In general, I'm 52, getting on to 53. Um, in October, I'll be 53. Let's see, June, July, October, July, August, September, October. Oh, okay, 4 months away. I'm closer to 53 than I am 52. Put it that way. October 1st is my birthday, by the way. Um, Libra, yes. So, oh, you know, I should do a video one time of my chart reading for those of you who are interested. I think that might be fun. I think I'll do that, post on like Patreon or something, for the paid, you know, on my website or Patreon or somewhere, and then put the link. Do a little short video on YouTube and then post the link to my website or whatever. I don't know. I'll consider it. Anyway, because there are people that have asked, I've talked to you about people doing reading and astrology and all that. Anyway, on a side note. All right, so you know, it's a lot of people in their own way. Like this representative, what's happening to me is representative with a lot of people. Like, you know, and so, you know, I'm not a leader. I don't want to lead you. I'm not trying to lead anyone. However, I know a lot more about stuff and a lot of stuff than a lot of people. And, you know, people that are smart and know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff, you know, by default, get to be in charge. No, well, I know how that works. No, all right, okay, well, yeah, I'll be in charge of that. Okay, all right, yeah. It's how I've gotten to be on committees and done stuff and gotten jobs because I know how stuff works or how to operate a machine or whatever. Yeah, I know I can do that. Oh yeah, I can be there at 7 in the morning with boots. Yeah, all right, yeah, great, all right. Um, so that's sort of how I got this job. Is that I just know the most about the electromagnetics, and I'm happy to share, and I'm free to share, and I'm willing to bullshit you with you for 20 minutes before getting into the video. You know. Um, just to kind of, you know, let you know what's going on in my life. Part of this, the introductions, you know, I ramble on is sort of because this isn't for everyone. It's just for there's a few of you I know that are just really, really, honest to God. There's just a few of you that I do these introductions for because I know you're curious about me and you want to make sure that you care about me, right? So there's, you know, that's part of what I was feeling a little bit kind of, I had a burst of energy, and so I thought I would, do a video with all of you, and just, kind of, hang out with you a little bit to do this. Because again, this kind of also feeds into the lesson, if I ever, or not the lesson, but the essay, I guess. This isn't really a lesson, but this is more of a personal plan for me. I say plan. This is me and the channel. This isn't necessarily for you, but there are those of you who are interested in this that want to know what's going on. You're curious. You've sent me notes, and you really do need to be included in this. There's a core group of you who really kind of support me, and this channel is yours as well as mine. And I want to, like I said, include my viewers and my subs into what's happening in my life, right? The last message that I put up on Facebook and YouTube was like, I'm, not the cheery positive one, but the one before that, where I'm just like taking time off, I'm taking time off posting here because of work. That, it's partly sabbatical time, but partly, it's just time. It's a year into this, and it's time to redress and readdress, redress what's happening here, at the, at my channel. Right. So, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this together, read this. It's 26 minutes into this. So I'm going to read this quote unquote 8-minute read. This is my website, by the way. Okay. And so, there's links in the bottom for you to support me, because I I I have my name in the domain for a year, but the website costs some money, and just everything costs money. So just give me whatever you can and help me out. Just I want to do a fundraiser coming up, and there's going to be some fun stuff. But I just got to get in the habit of asking people, posting my fundraisers, and like, here's the information. Okay, so give me money, thank you. I guess, so this is sort of this is me in shifting gears here. All right, so let me get into this at almost half an hour into this here. Like half hour. This is one of the longer, if not the longest, introductions here, 27. Maybe I'll just ramble on to even 30 minutes. No, I won't. Okay, then bad idea. All right, so, all right, the 13th of June. It's Sunday the 13th. Oh, and I think after I get finished with this video, I'm going to go downtown to my former work, the Eagle downtown, and see what's going on, and then hang out there for a couple hours, and then come back up and post this as a premiere. I think that's kind of the general overall plan. All right, so, all right, so I'm going to get into the reading. This is on my website, like I said, and it shows here it'll be an 8-minute read. Yeah, not likely for me. All right, but anyway, so this is the 13th of June. The plan going forwards, or whatever. All right. So as I said before, the 1st of June marks the 1-year point of the dedication of this this the YouTube channel and Facebook dedicated to Schumann Resonances. All right. So as of the 10th or 11th, it was about the breakdown I had on the 10th or 11th, somewhere around there, the 9th, whatever, where I didn't want to get out of bed. I decided to shift my focus mainly to the Schumann Resonances and associated atmospheric electromagnetics. I changed the name of the Facebook group, and I couldn't change the name of... I started another channel. But not getting ahead of myself here. Not to get ahead of myself. It's been a constant frustration for me that a lot of people confuse all atmospheric electromagnetics with the Schumann-series resonances. Schumann resonances is a portion of all the accumulated atmospheric electromagnetics which pollute the atmosphere of this planet. To this point, I've offered everything on the Schumann-series resonances free from charge. I've been doing this part-time along with the part-time job as a landscaper, handyman's assistant for the property management company I worked for, which provides a roof over my head. That's an important thing to remember. That's the reason I'm still here, is it provides a roof over my head. Okay. So any job that's been a prayer of mine for all the time I've been in Providence, that I would work for a company that literally provides somehow a roof over my head. That provides me a wage that's able to, or somehow work it out with that. So that's one of the important reasons of why I'm with this woman now. The boss. Uh, I can't keep doing both. All right, so let me summarize where I am. So I've mentioned this before. This is on the website so you can read it. But um, basically, I've come into Providence. I get 30 years of radio, audio, video, electronics, computer fixing, hardware, software part. I've done BIOS, flash BIOS. I've done soldering. I've worked with scanners, just optical, just oh my god. I've gone to schooling and training, and this is why this shit's so natural for me, is because I have an insane level of training here and schooling and reading, and I'm still reading. I'm always reading. I'd rather read this than, People magazine, than current events. I regularly get updates in my email from the technical journals, and I mean, just I've been to college, I have a degree, like I've been to technical training, on the job training, advanced on the job training, just I mean, whatever, I how to read meters and just all this shit is second nature to me, right? You'd have to go to school for 30 years to get where I'm at. You could do it. How much time you got? You want to learn this tomorrow? Well, you might not. It's going to be there's a steep learning curve to this. So just this is here what I've done, and like so I so I what do I get? Okay, for doing this is the questions from people. Right? Just I'm interrupting myself here. All right. You can read all of this in the thing here. All right. Just this right here. I'm going to fast forward to January 2021. All right. When we had three flashes. That's when the first awakening came. All right. And I think that's actually, I get the date wrong, is January 2020. Last year. It's not this year. Right. Uh, um, So the whole year, right? And then there was some more that did actually come in January, but that's not the ones that I was talking about. So at this point, so for a year, I've been writing about the Schumann resonances and all of this. I get my days, the years messed up on some of the stuff. So, but um uh somewhere in May of this last year, I gotta change the dates here. I'm off. It was May 2020 that I had put the Schumann resonances in the name of, I changed everything. So I rebranded it to deal with exclusively with the Schumann resonances at that time. And part of the reason why I did all of this is to deal with the Schumann resonances, and I've done that. So I'm not going to read all that because I get to change some of the typos. I get the dates wrong on some of the stuff. And it was January. It should have been last year, not all of this. So so I wanted to. My guides had told me you needed to focus on the Schumann resonances. I did that, and then the next following year, you need to have your life boat in place. I did that, and then this following year here, I need to have a mobile home. Okay, right? That's kind of what's out there to the universe. Either you know some like something within the general framework of what we're looking for. Okay, so this is what our goal is. All right, so In the past year, my focus has been mainly on the Schumann resonances, as I've said, along with the associated. There's three tiers. One is the Schumann resonance, and I think I'm going to change this a little bit to reflect this. First tier is the Schumann resonances themselves. Okay. And then the next tier is the meter reading associated with that. Okay. Um, which also goes into a sub issue of knowing local interferences for you and for them. Okay. So there's like an A and a B and a C part to the second of the meter readings, that they cover a certain distance and don't confuse the meter reading with what's happening with the world in your local area. So there's Schumann resonances in your local area, what's happening with you that's relevant to you. And then there's the associated part of it, of the sunshine and whatever. And then there's the machine reading, and then all of this other kind of stuff to it as well. Um, and then there is you being able to get the signal and understanding what it is you're reading relative to all of that coming at you, and don't be, you know, misled by problems with the server getting a signal to you, right? So this is all of kind of all these things, and that's I think I've said this before here in this video, and if not, I'm saying it loudly here and clearly, so we all understand that the Schumann resonance is not just Schumann resonances, but there's a wide applicability of it, and part of that whole understanding of the Schumann resonances is what they are, in addition to what they are not. That's part of the understanding. The greater mission in doing this is for people, for you, for me, to understand, to remember, to remind me of both what they are and what they're not, and the influences, local influences to you, and local influences to where they're picking it up. Okay. So these are very, this is a lot of, this isn't just one central, I mean, this is one central topic, but there's a lot that feeds into it. And uh, it's not something that you can just kind of read a little bit of literature. That's why a lot of people are confused on this, because it's not that you can just read a few articles and stuff and you get it. Even for someone with the background of the atmospheric, with the electromagnetics, and then with, listen, I talk with the planet, I talk with Earth, I ask God, I get connected to the planet, I get answers through the ether. Okay, so even with that, okay, knowing a lot of stuff from, higher shit, still, to be able to put it together in a context where it's simplified enough so we all can understand it, not in just some completely crazy picture in my head, which is fine enough for me, right? I'm fine with that. However, that's not as fun as being able to bring it down to everyday level, everyday people, person speak, so we all can share and understand, and maybe clear up some misunderstandings, right? So that's why it's important for me to be able to bring this up, to know which one's which and what's what, to separate the wheat from the chaff, because I'm one of the few that can help you kind of diagnose maybe it's not this, and maybe it's not the Schumann resonances, but maybe you legitimately have a physical problem that maybe you should take care of, right? And maybe the doctor might surprise you by finding out you have a higher level of something. I'm not even going to, say specifics, but maybe you're having a higher level of something, and you need to, be aware of. All right, so this is ultimately where we're going with, with this, is helping people figure out this kind of stuff. All right. But I can't currently do that type of thing with just the Schumann resonances as it is now, as things are now. All right. So, as a guiding principle, we've shied away from dealing much of the issue of phantom symptoms, okay, except in certain prescribed ways. Like we tell you, you got to see the doctor first, get a clean bill of health from your doctor, right? You got to make sure that you don't have any crazy, heavy metal poisoning or something, whatever. I don't even know. Just throwing some shit out. You got to make sure you have a healthy heart and all these kind of things, and that you have complained to the doctor about the ringing, persistent ringing in your ear, right? Or the nausea or whatever, right? But this has been an issue you brought up with the doctor. Okay. The other prescribed manner that I've dealt with here is to talk about only the ringing, to validate only the ringing and the nausea and headache, sinus frontal lobe headache. Right, that's important to note. Sinus, related headache, pineal sinus related headache, and the associated, nausea, headache, ringing, and vertigo. The four kind of that cluster of symptoms together. That may be electromagnetically related. I have talked about that. I've made that connection. That's within there. I've, that prescribed parameter as well. That I'm willing to address that from the physics, the technical aspect of, magnetic induction in the inner ear. On the effect on the cochlea. So either the piezoelectric effect causing the nausea or the magnetic induction causing the ringing, these kind of things. All right. But that's not Schumann resonances. That is associated atmospheric electromagnetics. Okay. So uh, there's a lot to this that's more than just the Schumann resonances. And I needed to kind of start branching out in a way, a significant way to with people, so that we can um, we all can, kind of start coming to some better understandings of what's happening. Much of the physical, emotional, paranormal symptoms that folks are universally experiences are not actually due to Schumann resonances, but other sources. Okay, the problem is, what other source? As there's so much associated atmospheric electromagnetics, it's difficult to keep it all straight. So, there seems to be a natural built in direction that this year should be following, assisting others in dealing with other atmospheric electromagnetics. Okay. I renamed the Facebook group to now include associated atmospheric electromagnetics. I am starting another YouTube channel, which is going to be dealing with the broader issue of atmospheric electromagnetics, non-Schumann related. Okay, I'm going to take a pause. Right, let's just breathe. It's 42 minutes into this, and if you've been hanging out here for this length of time, thank you. I appreciate it. We're gonna get into. So this would, I guess, I think this might be a good point. Like, I'm gonna have two tiers of stuff from now on. One is like the public, there's a basic, maybe an introduction part, maybe an abstract is open to the public. And then on the website, and then maybe in like a members only Patreon, I'm going to post the bigger, broader, full post, like all of it. And so there will be plenty of stuff. There's definitely going to be some stuff for the people, for the public at large. I want there to be a connection with the people at large. So, whether I want you to get some knowledge, and you need to know stuff. I've posted a lot of stuff already for free. So now we're breaking this up into a kind of a two-tiered system that the advanced stuff is going to be a subscription service. It's just that simple. So this would be the point that, would be the public, actually, this is actually a good point to stop this, because this I'm almost at an hour. I don't want to go into an hour, and I'm now at the point where I would be into the subscription service. So, going along with what I've been saying, I've talked enough. I need a break. I need to go downtown, see if there's any dancing, and come back and do part two. So, all right. So this is going to end this part one here, of the basic stuff, and then we're going to go into part two when I go back, if I haven't danced myself into exhaustion. I don't even know what's going on downtown, but I'll come back and give you a report. Maybe I'll take some pictures. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, all right. So on that cheery note, before it gets too late, thank you all for being here. I appreciate all the comments, the love, the support, the 10 of you, the 11, the 12 of you, and all the and everyone that gives comments. I appreciate all the comments. The the joke kind of that I talk about the terrific 10 simply is when I talk about the 10 of you, that simply means, I'm not excluding anyone as such. If you left good comments, that's wonderful. I appreciate all the comments. I read all the comments. I may not respond, I may just leave a little heart. Okay. But there are a group of people that really keep me going with their comments, that are very motivational, that are trying very hard to get this very difficult technical stuff and have been following along and are plugging along and who are dedicated to showing me that there are people who really truly care about technically how this works, that I'm not wasting my time. And that doesn't come, well, a comment, two comments helps, but people, the same ones are back continually and they're plugging along. And so, I read all the comments, but when I start seeing, names come up again and again and again and again, like, oh, well, all right. And they ask technical questions and they're there. Like, this is what does it for me. I've explained this before. There are no dumb questions. There's only dumb answers. If you make a statement and end it with a question mark, it's not a dumb question, right? I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of the questions that I get. There's no dumb, no stupid question. I assure you of that. This is all advanced stuff. I don't like talking and talking and talking and talking and talking when the audience is asleep or they're not following me. I don't like that. No, I want, like, everyone is invited to ask me questions, but there's a certain core group of people who really are dedicated to wanting to know technically how this works. And that's what I'm talking about. The people who are repeatedly wanting to know how the technical part of this works. And now I have now I have my shingle out to get donations, okay. But even then still, I will provide the public with, the core, minimum you need to know what's going on. And even then still, if someone gives, puts $2 in the bucket, I'll give you an answer, uh and I kind of feel bad for asking for funds, but I have to. And people tell me, you need to ask, you need to put your hand out. No one is gonna, know that you need help if you don't ask. And so that's what I need to do more of, is to learn how to let go of my control over things in this case, and open it up to the public and say, I need y'all's help. Right? A lot of great and wonderful stuff is going on, and there's a wonderful promise that's coming up, and you just can't lose hope. And that's sort of what this is for me and you as well. Of my this succeeding, it's that there is hope. Right? And I have been, my guides remind me, I've been very hope giving to a lot of you. A lot of you have gotten hope. And so it just, I don't know, like, that's what I want to bring to the table to you. And that's what I would like to, because that's what I would like to get coming at me, right? It's simple, it's self-interest, but to 51%, right? Just my part in this is I will give the help and I'll be the hand when it's needed, and when I need to put my hand out, I will gladly receive what is due to me because I did my part in giving it forward. And that's part of how the principle works. Trust. You got to believe, right? And that's why it's important to stay grounded. Channel all the extraneous light and life and energy and everything around you. So you're not overwhelmed in the time when you can't otherwise see hope. Don't get overwhelmed by all the extraneous stuff that we've put up in a way, right? It's part of the clearing. Part of the great clearing process is getting rid of the lower density, right? And the disbelief and unbelief and untrust and unhope and unfaith is part of the lowest density you got to get rid of. That gets just sucked out. Picture just getting sucked out, swirled down, like all of that, the negativity just getting swirled down around you, flushed down to the middle of the earth, middle of the planet. And that's one of the ways that you ground. It's just, I'm not taking this, I'm not taking it in to hold on to it. No, I'm taking it in because it shouldn't be around me, shouldn't be around others. I'm going to take it in and just flush it and just exhale it. Picture it going to the middle of the earth, and the earth churning it up and do whatever the middle of the earth does with such things. So anyway, all right. So 51:15. Nice. All right. So it's time. All right. So next, this will be part 2 of this. Thank you. All right. So anyway, on that cheery note, thank you all. You are wonderful people, and I very much appreciate you being here. Much love. Thank you for your continued comments, the support. Just you all are awesome. Thank you. And from the bottom of my heart, the bottom and the top of my heart, both. I thank you very much. Have a good rest of your night. Namaste.